Service Providers podcast. I'm your host Ali Salman, and this podcast is brought to you by Rapid Boost Marketing, online marketing for service providers. Are you a dentist, realtor, lawyer, accountant? Do you provide services locally? Then this podcast is for you. Here we share strategies, tricks, and techniques on how to generate more leads and sales using online marketing. Join us every day for 5 minutes and take away strategies which you can apply in your business. Welcome to episode 153 of Business Growth School for Service Providers. Today we are talking about why testing is critical for success. But before I jump into that, last episode 152, was all about turning strangers into customers. So go and check it out at rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. Today we are talking about why testing is so critical, right? Companies and businesses on average see 65% increase in leads and conversions when increasing their number of landing pages. Testing by nature encourages a higher number of landing pages to be built, right? So let's say if you need two variations of each, right, you will see the higher you test, the better you're going to convert, right? And in digital marketing testing, there's always a couple of rules. The rule number one is basically forget everything you know about your customer. And rule number two is just because it has worked for someone else, there's no guarantee that it's going to work for you, because a dental clinic provide services very differently than a granite or a local stone company who sells kitchen top and bathroom tops, right? So very different strategies for different businesses, and even something which has worked for someone in your own industry, there's no guarantee that will also work for your business, right? So there's 5 kind of testing usually companies do. Number one is hunches, right? So what is hunch means? Hunch means like whatever feels right to you. You just created a website, whatever feels right to you. You did an email marketing campaign and you came up with a headline, whatever feels right to you. Whatever felt right to you, you basically did it, right? A lot of business owners, a lot of experts run their marketing that way, right? Second thing is best practices. Now, best practices basically what has worked for other people, but technically that's not enough, right? I mean, it doesn't matter how the best practice advice is, right? You cannot compare that against an evidence tailored to a specific situation and application. I mean, as I gave you an example, for a dentist versus a stone and a granite manufacturer, both do very different business, right? So best practices for one business is not necessarily best practices for other businesses. Now the third way of testing is basically anecdotal evidence. Now anecdotal evidence means that it has worked for you maybe in the past, right? But the data which was collected was very casual and informal. So technically you cannot rely on it 100%, right? The fourth way is basically uncontrolled and badly controlled test. These are the tests which are not executed properly. So example is you are a fitness products e-commerce website and you made some changes on a protein shakes category page, and you made those changes right before the CrossFit games were starting, right? And what you did, you were trying to compare that with the weight loss category, and you see a big boost in sales for protein shakes. And you said, hey, you know what? That's awesome. I made all the changes, and that's why I saw the big bump. But you didn't consider that that category got a big bump because there were CrossFit games which were going on, that there was a lot of athletes, right, who wanted protein shakes. So this is a badly controlled test where you were unable to minimize the effect of biases, or we call that outside environments, right? So the fifth one is basically the best one in digital marketing. We call that randomized controlled trials, basically A/B split testing. What A/B split testing is, basically the way it works is it's called experimenting and comparing two types or variations, right, of an online campaign, which could be landing page, a text, or a headline, or a call to action, or email campaign, right? Okay, against any other element of marketing campaign. So what you do is you run a control test, right? And you try to see that how people react to two variations of something, right? And this is the best kind of testing you can do in marketing, especially on your campaign. So the reason for us to walk through all of these five different phases, right, was that don't rely on hunches, best practices, anecdotal evidence, or badly controlled test. Make sure you're running proper controlled trials and testing, because till you don't do that, you don't know what's working and what's not working, right? And it's very, very important for you to test, right? Because we clearly know the more businesses and entrepreneurs or agencies or experts test, the better results they get. We've also included an example of how we test a headline on our blog. You will see a headline which we tested, and so basically there were two variations of that. One variation was ultimate guide to A/B split testing plus a free video course. Then the second one was A/B split testing 101. A/B split testing 101 clearly was the winner. And the only reason we will be able to track that is we have basically uh, way to track it, right? So make sure you apply these techniques if you're sending your email, if you're designing on your landing page, if you're designing your home page, whatever you're doing in your marketing. Try to have different variations so you can test it, right? So see what is working for you, because hey, I mean, you may be converting at, let's say, 5% and you're happy with that, but testing it, you might convert at 6%, 7%, 8%, and that's how you will be able to grow. So testing definitely helps your business, right? So go in, apply that, see how how what kind of results you get, and then you can go from there. But if you're not testing, right, you're missing out. You don't know what's working and what's not working. It might be that things are working out for you because it's a badly controlled test. There could be some other factors which are helping you to grow, but you are just it's like it's like you're trying to throw something on a target, right? And your eyes are closed, right? So make sure you go and test, and testing is very, very, very important in order for you to be successful when it comes to digital marketing and online marketing. I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early in another fresh episode of Business Growth School. Have a good day, guys. Hey, thank you so much for joining me today. If you want to listen to previous episodes, go to rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. Again, I'll repeat that, rapidboostmarketing.com/grow. I'll catch you tomorrow bright and early with another business growth lesson. Have a good day. Take care. Bye bye.